Tuesday. So, we're talking travel. Joining us now, as always, friend of the stream and CBS travel editor, Peter Greenberg. Peter, where in the world are you today?
Today I'm in Las Vegas. I'm actually working, so don't be too jealous.
Okay, actually working in Las Vegas, and a roll of the dice every now and then get you something, and I wouldn't have expected that. Thousands, over 10,000 people, Peter, have been reportedly unruly and have reported unruly behavior on board U.S. flights since 2021. While the number has fallen over the past 2 years, it's still more than double what it was during the pandemic. That, of course, kind of an of course fact. No one was traveling during the pandemic. Just last week, we spoke with we had someone make a bomb threat on a plane, causing it to divert here to O'Hare. So we hear this all the time. I mean, the videos go viral all the time. If we see something sketchy, makes us feel unsafe, do we jump in and solve it? Do we tell someone on the plane to help us? What do you do? Do you tell an attendant? You've probably seen it firsthand. You fly so much. What
Absolutely.
do you do?
Well, first of all, you got to tell a member of the flight crew. The airlines, of course, are aware of this problem because they're dealing with it every single day. There's a reason why airlines now distribute those plastic Ziploc or zip-type handcuffs to their flight attendants, a serious duct tape and masking tape used to lash people to their seats. A flight diversion is a very expensive thing for an airline to do. If they can restrain the passenger long enough to go to their original destination, that's what they'd hope to do, so people don't have such disruption that they can't make their connecting flights no matter what. The biggest problem, though, remains what's going on at the gates. If you don't stop the problem at the gates, you don't want it at 35,000 feet. And that's where the airlines have to work with the airport and the FAA and everybody else to come up with a reasonable set of rules, short of putting breathalyzers at the jetway, as to how you can stop people from coming on the plane already drunk. And one way you do that is to basically apply the NFL fourth quarter rule for alcohol sales to the airport and tie it to the boarding time listed on your boarding pass, meaning no retail establishment at an airport can serve anybody alcohol without double checking their ID and matching it against the boarding pass of their flight, which means they can't do it within 45 minutes. You're going to mitigate that problem. You won't eliminate it, but you're certainly going to reduce it.
Yeah, that's a good call there. So many of these issues caused or fueled, if you will, by alcohol. So inadequate and confusing. That's what the FAA is calling Boeing's safety culture. There is clearly some sort of disconnect between the goals and reality. This was related to the questions of the 737 MAX airlines in 2018, 2019. They just had that major kerfuffle on the Air Alaska flight. Workers say not only do sometimes they not understand their jobs, but there is a culture of fear if they report safety issues. And, people say this, nowadays you believe it. Boeing says it's trying to respond. It has responded in some sort, but clearly it hasn't. What's going on there?
Well, let's go back to that quote. Inadequate and confusing. For the FAA to say that is the pot calling the kettle black. The
Right.
problem didn't start at Boeing. The problem started with the FAA not doing its job to begin with. Remember, what is the FAA's mandate? To enact and enforce safety and regulation. They don't have the staff, the resources, or the training right now to do that. And so for a period of decades, they were delegating that work to what they call FAA designated inspectors. Who did they work for? The manufacturers, the
Right.
Boeings, the McDonnell Douglases, the Lockheeds. So this problem started as a safety culture that the FAA approved of or let happen. So right now, when the NTSB is doing the investigation, they've already been able to rule out whether it was materials or structure or design. That's good. It wasn't any of those things. What did they rule in? Manufacturing, installation, inspection, and oversight. That's the FAA's responsibility, and Congress needs to give them the money and the tools to do that. Think about this. The guy who was running the 737 program just resigned last week from Boeing. He's the third guy to lose that job in 5 years. So is that a Boeing safety culture problem, or the FAA also not doing its job?
Yeah.
That's a rhetorical question. I'll let you figure that one out.
Well, and you've answered that before. Obviously, an FAA problem. It's a pot calling the kettle black, and it's the pot policing the kettle in the same way, it seems like. So let's go lighter here, and also problematic, as we were talking about. Alaska Airlines rolling out its first exclusive IPA for people aboard its flights. They call it Cloud Cruiser. ID'd, probably go with a door plug Pilsner is the new trend.
Hey, listen, what better way to celebrate unruly passengers by introducing a brand new beer to be served in the air?
Sounds
come on.
like a bad idea. So what's the PR move then? What are they doing here?
Well, obviously they want to celebrate locally made beer in Seattle. I get that. But it puts the flight attendants in the risk of being, we got to cut you off after 2 drinks. Bartenders, look, I'm sure the flight attendants are responsible for this. I just don't think they want that job. But you have a branded beer now called the Cloud Cruiser, as opposed to, here it comes, the Cloud Bruiser. And so be careful. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Peter Greenberg, our thanks again. We will talk to you again in 1 week, and enjoy the workday, my friend.
Thank you, sir.